Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome back to the Bird for day 5 of the rehearsal tour of No Days Off. That's right, no days off. Let's shine a little light on that Big Red. Where's Big Red at? Here's Big Red. Oh, we got to plug it in. Well, we'll see how it looks later. All right, we got some things we got to show you today. We've been working on. Going to try to see the resolution on the screen. So I'm going to escape out of that. As you can see, no days off. There we go. We like it loud and proud. That's right, everybody. All right, so we know the sound works really, really well. Okay, the only thing we have to do is we have to go and plug Big Red in. I'll go do that. Hopefully you can still hear me while I do that, because we're taking absolutely, positively no days off. Oh, there we go. Big Red back at work. All right. Okay. So, what I did yesterday was I put a whole bunch of stuff in Google Classroom so that kids can access it. And I'm going to pull that up right now, and hopefully we can see it. I might have to adjust the camera. So let me just kind of go to my internet here. Boom! That just happened. That blow your mind? All right, so I'm going to go to Classroom. There we go. We'll look at English 2 first. Okay, no days off. So far, 19 students have signed up. That's good. We already have available the spelling, vocab, word parts list, the syllabus, and the Welcome to English 2 PowerPoint. If I go by classwork, you can see a couple of things that I put up. Number 1, this is from Mindset by Carol Dweck, and this is an assignment that we're going to do together. And I'll zoom in on this, and let's see how the resolution comes up here. Let's see, this mouse should be on. Almost knocked the coffee over again. I've done that twice in the rehearsal tour. You know, it is a rehearsal. This is what we prepare for. Okay, so normally when we go over something like this, this is going to be the resolution at which it's going to be. And I see that by having the camera there, we might need to move this. All right, so let's move this. Oh, yeah, right now. There we go. Move this right up here. Okay, get that right on the edge. There we go. I think you can see as I go through stuff. Now, the fact that you also have the document shared with you will also make it very easy. What you can do is you can minimize it in 2 different screens. Okay, so if I go up here, if you notice, we got our pointer is now, well, now it's invisible. But let me just kind of move to the side, cast a little bit of shadow. If I go up there, and I'll hit Control, so you can hopefully see that. There we go. And I restore down. Now I can have more than one thing up, and I can follow along Mr. Pastor, and I can follow along with the video as well. Okay? So that's just one example of something I posted this week. Yesterday, this took a while. There's 2 poems that you'll have to do for your second night of homework, an Irish poet and a Persian philosopher. And you have to annotate. It's real easy to annotate. I'll show you this when we have our first class. But you just pick what you want to annotate. And again, we're having a little bit, there we go. Okay. So, when you are old and gray and full of sleep. Okay. And what I'm going to do is, with my handy dandy computer, and you've all got Chromebooks, I'm going to do one of 2 things. I'm either going to hit that plus sign in the margin, or I'm going to hit Control-Alt-M, and boom, I've got a comment right there. And I can type something in fairly thorough about how he wants this woman to look at this poem way distant in the future. You know, maybe he's going to try to tell her, look, I still love you 50 years from now as much as I love you today. And maybe it's got a nice positive message like that. Maybe it's a Taylor Swift kind of thing. where they had a bad romance. I know that's a Lady Gaga song. But maybe something went wrong and he wants her to feel guilty. You've all listened to Taylor Swift, so you know that could happen too. I'm going to cancel out of that comment, but I just wanted to show you how to make one. All right. Next thing I'm going to show you is the post-reading questions on this. Hopefully you can, there you go. All right, hopefully we can see this. There we go. All right, so what phrases in this poem stood out to you and why? And I think you could actually, if I step aside, yeah, you can actually see that pretty well. Okay, thoroughly explain your answer. That means you got to pick more than one phrase, and each phrase has to have at least 2 or 3 sentences of analysis. Same specifications on number 2. What do you think Yeats's motivation might have been for writing this poem? That's your interpretation. All right. Now, if you say something like, well, he really, really hated gym class. Okay, good luck trying to substantiate that. But maybe you think he's writing it to a pet. Maybe you think he's writing it to a friend who's just a friend. Or maybe he's writing it to a girl who friend-zoned him. The relationship bullpen. Okay. Maybe he's a little bit bitter about that. Who knows? All right. So we'll scroll down a little bit further. We've got another one that you've got to annotate by Rumi called Where Everything is Music. Okay? And this one is highly interpretive. Highly, highly interpretive. And so, have fun with this. If you're not sure what lesson he's trying to teach people, just come up with one. Come up with one. Writing is the art of substantiating that which may not be substantive. But maybe you can unearth something, and maybe you can find a different take on it that nobody else has had. Okay? Don't be afraid to make a mistake. Remember, there are no mistakes in here, just happy little accidents, as Bob Ross would say. So that's just one of the materials that I created, that we created yesterday. This mouse, I think with the Chromebook between the mouse and the computer, it has a little bit of difficulty. I'm going to switch over to AP. And these 3 lines here, you can toggle between your classes using those 3 lines. Look, you can still see that pretty well. If I go over, I'm going to use the keyboard mouse instead, that other mouse. Probably too many apps running. There we go. Go over to classwork here. I posted the first dance opportunity for those of you in AP. It's a PDF, so you'll have to create your own Google Doc. You'll have to create your own Google Doc. It's not letting me zoom that way, so I'll have to go back, click on it again. There we go. Hit Control. And if you have a scroll bar, or you know how to use a scroll bar in your Chromebook, you can zoom in real easy, just like this. There we go. I like this one. Think about a time where you felt success was impossible, but you somehow managed to persevere. Yeah, I can imagine a kid writing this about, I went to Walmart and didn't get the Rona. Okay, and I know that sounds sick, but I mean, if you've gone 5 months and you haven't contracted the coronavirus, maybe that's maybe that's a definition of a small or a major success for you. You could imagine, you can make this like a movie chase or something, only instead of terrorists that you stole plutonium from to power your time machine, you're getting chased by a microscopic organism. Okay? And honestly, if you do this at Walmart, boy, we can have a lot of fun. There's a lot of references that can be made there. I'm sure there's a lot of Mountain Dew jokes and things like that. But we can have a lot of fun with that one if you took that approach. Option B for this one, for your first dance opportunity, I think it's going to be to take a room in your house And here we go. All right. Yeah, you have to take a room in your house, your school, your job. A number of you have been working, okay? And you have to be as descriptive and detailed as possible in describing that. That's a little bit similar to the specificity assignment last year in English 2, but it's more of a description of the entire place than just 4, 5, or 6 specific objects. I gave this as an option because you may see this and say, I kind of did that last year already. Okay, that's why you have 2 options on this one. The one you have for Wednesday night, you won't have any options on. So that's a little bit of tour of the Google Classroom. We do have 2 new inhabitants of our real classroom. So if I kind of move it like this, there we go. I call this Binny and the Jet. You know, from the Elton John song, Binny and the Jet. This is Binny. Binny is our bin of sanitary wipes to help keep us clean and safe. And the Jet is our hand sanitizer pump brought to you by Core K cleaning products. I swear I'm not making this up. So we got Binny and the Jet. I know that's a real lame joke, but guys, we're going to have a whole year full of really lame jokes. Get used to it. Okay? So that's it for today. From Rehearsal Tour Day 5, we've actually got staff meetings and stuff today, some of them through Google Meet. So I'm excited for that. I got my whole room set up. I got my entire first week of lessons all ready. We're all ready to go. I got a couple more materials. I've got to convert something from the book Sin and Syntax into a PDF or a Word document. But we're going to say adieu for now. Going to turn Big Red off here. Okay. Good job, Big Red. Woohoo! Give me a fist bump. Oh, you don't have any arms. All right. And going to say goodbye for Day 5 of the Rehearsal Tour and actually going to get some work. Have a good one, guys. Stay safe.